This show is a screwball comedy with blue humor, adult situations, and some cussing. For subject matter and show notes, visit patterspod.com. The following events are fake. The story, however, is real. There's a place up north I seek to go, green of tree and rich of joe, with magic bean of coffee strong, flannel many and grunged song. Skylines high and tech abound do dance upon this fisher's town. Seattle be the name of here, where rain does fall for much of year. The slacker soul rings through the land, calling many to this land. Yet hearken those who to here flock, ye must expect a culture shock. Pilgrims, voyagers, young and old, will find a certain shoulder cold. Traveler, they not you here you want. Turn back now, beware their daunt. Hearken, traveler, who seeks thy cheese of the famed Seattle Freeze. Author unknown. No one knows who wrote this poem. That's how come the author part says, author unknown. It's titled The Seattle Freeze, named after a certain unwelcome attitude that Seattleites have toward people who come here. An icy, cold demeanor. A way to say, hey, F you, new guy. Quit crowding my scene. Beat it, bozo. Take a hike. You flew here. We grew here. Etc., etc. But wait. Hold the phone. I'm a Sacramento dude. Why do I give a care about what they think in Seattle? How come we're even talking about this place? Well, it's because I moved here. That's right. I ain't in Sacramento no more.
Why? 'Cause your boy finally got dealt something other than a chump's hand.
I live here now. I live in Seattle.
Freeze be damned.
I live in Seattle for work reasons. For book deal reasons. You heard that right. Book deal reasons. What can I say? Things have really changed for me since I almost died last episode. And now I'm on a new shining path to literary stardom. My third act in the Emerald City. The place where it all started. The place where thrillers were born. This is Finding Pattersby, a thriller in 10 parts. Previously on Finding Pattersby.
Good news, Rye Guy. I sat down to read your stuff and I couldn't put it down. Overclock, as you titled it, is gonna be a hit.
A master's mystery, a woman's touch, a deadly game of cat and mouse, and the maverick's quest for the ultimate riddle. Theo Sultan in The Puzzle Mistress.
Hey, Lydia didn't write her name on this thing. Just for like a goof, what if I wrote my name on it?
I wanted to go inside.
Inside where?
The fantasy.
What do I think happens when we die? I don't know much about that, but it reminds me of a song. I think every man has 3 deaths. The first of breath, second of body, and the third in name. Of course, what would I know? I'm just a beach lawyer, baby.
Sometimes when I'm alone at night, I wonder if I hadn't channeled something much darker in that mansion.
I can feel his eyes on me. The Twig Man.
Chapter 5 Monomyth Publishing. Oh, there you are, Hole Punch. We open on a scene of an upbeat book deal getter happily unpacking his new home office. Hey, little help here. Andy, leave that gear alone. Come on. Did you hear me?
Ew. When's the last time you cleaned this microphone? It's disgusting.
We'll deal with that in a second.
I'm gonna get a rash.
Our intrepid host, me, gathers himself up off the ground and straddles a chair backwards to rap with his new intern from the local community college, who still hasn't put up the miniature basketball hoop like his pretty cool boss asked. Oh, what a spill. Okay, Andy, what's up with my mic?
It smells rotten.
Rotten?
You know you don't need to talk that close to it.
Okay, these are great points. Ones we could have easily discussed over a tiny basketball. But more importantly, my call with my publisher is in like 2 minutes. 1, and 2, you're my intern, okay? I'm not paying you to critique my workspace.
You're not paying me.
Well, maybe not in money, but in beer and pizza, like the ad said.
I don't like beer and pizza.
Now, what kind of college student doesn't like... Look, never mind. This call with my publisher is super important. So, let's table the shop talk.
Okay, but why are there also like 1,000 files on your desktop? It's so disorganized. It gives me a headache.
Intern. That's Andy, my intern. And as it turns out, my biggest critic. Let me bring you up to speed. After the unfortunate demise of Big Wave Dave and all that drama, R.I.P., the universe cruel temptress that she be decided to cut me a break in the form of a fresh start, a reprieve from the slings and arrows of outrageous misfortune. The clouds parted and all my hard work as a book writer, and more importantly as a storyteller, finally paid off. My agent, J. Jordan St. Avalon, shopped around my original techno thriller with erotic elements entitled Overclock, and we got some bites. But one place bit bigger than the rest. And long story short, I'm all but guaranteed a book deal from who is it's not important right now. Let's just say if you've listened to this show, you've definitely heard of them. Okay, it's Monomyth Publishing. The same shadowy corporation loosely connected to Pattersby's disappearance. They're also the same publishing company that was sponsoring writers' retreats at the mansion where Big Wave Dave went missing in the ocean. That's neither here nor there. I guess their pool of authors also were named by Pattersby's last witness to see him alive as being a part of all this. That person being Fiona Caruso, also missing. So yeah, Monomyth. It is they who offered me a book deal. A slamming one at that. I know what you're thinking. Why am I doing business with an entity that may be responsible for disappearing several people connected to this investigation? What, do I want to get disappeared myself? Hell no. And guys, that's not going to happen to me. Why? I'm a public figure. I don't think they'd want to do anything that is gonna make them look like the bad guy after everything I've revealed about them. Shit. Well, okay. Reason number 2. Hey, who's to say this isn't just an honest-to-God book deal? Is that so unbelievable? Everything else is possible. Muses and ghosts and goblins, that's all possible, but the idea of me writing something of quality and drawing on my years of experience and artistic instinct to the point that a huge publisher offers me a slamming book deal, that's the unbelievable part? Well, I certainly don't think so. Neither does JJ. Yet, and still, I want to make a promise to you. I'm not going to get distracted by the glitz and glamour of all this and end up giving the investigation short shrift. Well, more specifically, some of you have even demanded that I make time here to check out the Washington property where Fiona Caruso had her strange encounter at the mansion with the Children of the Thrill. Honestly, I feel like we covered that pretty well. Like, I don't want to beat a dead horse and implicate Monomyth anymore. But you matter to me, which is why I had Andy do some Google research on what happened to that place. And what we found was, let's see, that it burned down. Mysteriously. That can't be right. I mean, it had been abandoned for quite some time following the events of the Mover's Tale and the Gardener's Tale. And be sure to check those out on our site if you haven't already. I will remind you that this could have just been an electrical fire from bad wiring or unruly teens. I'm just gonna put that out there. But yeah, the spot burned down mysteriously. Now that I think about it, right around the time that I started this investigation. Which probably a coincidence there. I know I already referred to it as mysterious several times, but honestly, I'd be concerned if something wasn't mysterious at this point because, hello, we are a mystery podcast. It doesn't mean Monomyth is looking to get me or something. However, I want to say this. No matter the case, no matter the dollar amount, I'm not going to let money change me. No way, Jose. The second something feels off, I walk, within reason. Because, I also can't stress enough how wild the proposed dollar amounts are here. Let's just say there's more digits here than a hand model convention. Because the fingers on... I got a little drool on my mic talking about that money. Red leather, yellow leather, red, yellow, leather. Ah, man. Okay, camera is looking good. Smile is alright, too creepy. It's just a call. Just act natural. Be yourself. Here we go. Letting you into the lobby and showtime. Hello? Okay, I can see her, but I can't hear her. Can you hear me? Oh, I'm so sorry. I can see you're saying something. Okay, now you sound like Max Headroom. There we go.
There he is.
I'm so sorry. I got this intern who's been messing with my presets, and I'm just happy we're able to connect.
Finally.
Yeah, internet.
My niece knows how to do this. I just assumed everybody did.
I have my call with the book people. One of the few remaining steps between me and my destiny.
So you really did it.
I sure did. Wait, what exactly did I do?
You moved out here.
Yep.
We all thought you were joking when you said that.
Nope. I was serious. You think I'm really gonna miss a chance to move out where the action is? When it comes to signing this contract, I gotta be there in person.
Hey, it's your funeral.
If I sound nervous on this call, it's because I am. Half because, well, I'm playing giddy about getting back in the book game. and half because of the extremely large dollar amounts being floated around here. But mainly I'm nervous because Melody, that's her name, Melody from Monomyth Publishing, keeps making these dark asides. Not to mention it seems like she's getting work done while talking to me. I could just be being paranoid, sure. But how am I supposed to feel when she says things like, hey, it's your funeral, while typing and looking at a different screen? Why can't she say, like, you can trust us, or we're not gonna get you? Something positive. Things that help me focus on this great experience, and also the money. And to be quite frank, whatever she's doing on her other screen seems to involve a much more entertaining conversation that she's carrying on in Mandarin. Which, nothing against multitasking, it just feels like I'm fighting for her attention. And of course I don't like the sinister allusions like, hey, it's your funeral, or how it seems like she's having a fantastic time in the Mandarin conversation. But that's okay. It's okay. I just know that once I get into that office and I sign that contract, then I can stop being so jumpy. That's it. That's it. So Melody, one thing I did want to ask is if the check you'll be issuing, the advance, if it could be one of those like really big oversized checks like they do in the sweepstakes, it would mean so much to me.
We don't normally do that.
But
we're also not going to do that for you.
Cool. Totally cool. Tight. This is not totally cool. Nor tight. Every time I picture getting this book deal, it involved pageantry, like receiving a jumbo check or having a sash placed on me. Whatever. I'm getting paid. Not getting disappeared. You know, this is how it always starts. They control the narrative on tiny things, like big checks. And the next thing you know, they're changing the name of your character or setting the whole thing in Dubai. Not that matters, it's just that they decide instead of me. I gotta hold the line here, in a nice way, because the point is, they want what I got. I refuse to let the suits call the shots. That's how art dies. So I fight. I fight darkness with light and put my stank on things. Hey, so here's what I'd like. Are you listening right now? What if is, I don't know, like a kickoff that you grab your people down from HQ and we all rolled out to the Space Needle, or we all go dancing. We break bread. Mix a little business and pleasure.
On behalf of everyone, I can confidently say no.
Well, you know, hey, put the word out. Float the idea.
We're very busy.
Yeah, I know. Wasn't even that serious about it. But youch. This cat's got claws.
So we will talk more on a granular level when you come down to HQ, which I'll mention again. We can always change to a video call.
Hey, nice try. You're not shaking me that easily.
Don't say we didn't warn you.
Warn me about what?
You have nothing to worry about.
I'm not worried. What, me worry? What, who would look like Alfred E. Newman?
We really think this could lead our holiday season.
Okay, all right. Well, there you go. See, now you're speaking my language.
Oh, before I forget, the team has a few notes we want to hit before we finalize everything.
I'm sorry. I think I misheard you. I thought you said notes.
Tiny things. Ways we could goose the tension. Make what you did better by changing it.
Changing it.
Great talk, Ryan.
Yeah, this is super productive.
Thank you. Ciao.
Ciao. Shit. Notes. The mere word sends a psychic battering ram hurling forth through the mists of time and shadows of the past, splintering the gates of my present-day self-esteem fort. Fort Ryan. Will the defenses hold? Notes. How could I be so naive? Of course they got notes. So blinded was I by my own excitement and mild concern about if I'd been lured into a web of deceit that I'd forgotten all about the very worst thing about mixing artistry and commerce. Notes. The compromise of one singular pure vision. Notes. A battle of will. a struggle for power, a fight for truth. Notes. A deadly game of she say, me say. Notes. They won't need to disappear me at all. They'll make me disappear myself on the page. Pay me handsomely, then make me unravel my own mind with notes.
So you're like one of those guys my dad reads.
What? Oh. Yeah. I know you can't tell this, but I'm a wreck. It's been this way for the past few days. My fingernails are chewed to the quick. I had a stress nightmare about Luke Pattersby of all people giving me so many notes about my writing. I tried braining myself against the wall. But it also turned out I was at one of those indoor trampoline attraction places for kids, so I just bounced all over the place like a fool. My dog was there too, speaking inexplicably in a Liverpudlian accent, bragging about how much better his life was since the city took him away from me, and then it turned into a newspaper headline. Chatty Bow Wow Scouser leaves bouncy bonehead owner a loner. Elsewhere in the newspaper read, Tragedy on Mars as bugs feast again. Needless to say, it was a terrible dream. Time blurs as one day becomes another and another. I had planned to see the sights of Seattle, but instead remained homebound in a nervous stupor. I did not visit the Space Needle. I did not visit the Sub Pop store, and barely had enough energy to send Andy in my stead. I did not visit Pike Place Market, or see a guy catch a fish in newspaper like I wanted, and then take a picture of it and share it on social media and put something fishy about this place. I didn't get to do any of that. I like to think I'm immune to all criticism, but find myself knocked flat on my ass. The circle date of my meeting with Monomyth taunting me from the calendar, bearing down on me like an unblinking cyclops eye. The sun goes up. The sun goes down, and I increase in smell. So much, Andy begins lighting incense, which does little to dull my stink. I can't live like this. I can't create like this. I have to do something about this bad attitude. I don't want to be pooped out of my biggest opportunity. So I remember a trick I learned once. A trick I learned at California Pizza Kitchen reprogramming camp, where I once got assigned for airing my true thoughts on the barbecue chicken pizza. It was a place for employees who needed an attitude enhancement. And the tool we learned there was something called laugh therapy. Basically what you do is you just start laughing. You start laughing and your body follows suit, and you put yourself in a good mood, and you think to yourself, this is fantastic. I can do it. You look into the eyes of your coworkers who are also laughing, and all of a sudden, everything feels amazing. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I think it worked. I feel energized, and it definitely got Andy's attention, who asked me if I'm sure I want to go to this meeting when I command him to order me up an Uber. And to Andy, I say, of course I'm sure. And then he tells me, well, you should probably put on some shoes and socks. And I say, thank you. To which he says that I should change out of my pajamas as well and wear a shirt with less stains and that isn't a tank top from the Circus Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. And it's then I think that I just may be getting through to this kid after all.
Alright, Andy, I'm off.
Or just ignore me. Friggin' AirPods. On my ride to Monomyth, images wash over me. Intrusive thoughts. Terrible, unspeakable things like them telling me to tighten up the third act again and again until I finally snap and end up manipulating my own lips with my finger repeatedly like when Daffy Duck loses it. Or even worse, get disappeared by being told my money's in a unfinished, partially bricked crawl space and then I get walled up, Cask of Amontillado style. Heck, they could turn me into a mouse for all I know. I guess maybe that one's not as likely, but you see what this is doing to me. Unfortunately, there's no turning back now. Hell, Dave wouldn't turn back. Dave would probably say, I don't think you're responsible for my death, but you should see this through, dude. Besides, I'm compelled by a force far greater than mind-bending mouse magic. I'm compelled by the truth. I need to know it, just like I had Andy put on my vision board. Such is the gumshoe's credo, and our curse. Also, the money is a pretty major factor still. That is a big part for me. It would be more than enough to get my dog back from the city, if he even remembers my face. I mean, hell, the Squid Game guy went through way more messed up stuff for, well, it was way more money, I think. I don't know the conversion rate. I don't think I'm going to be in a Squid Game. I don't think they're going to put me in a Squid Game. Then again, there's only one way to find out. My Uber arrives and I step out to behold my eponymous destination. Monomyth Publishing. It rises above me, the skyscraper domineering, the way it climbs toward the heavens like a volcanic rock formation ordered into being by some business god of the underworld. I bet his name is called, like, Executus. Corporos. The building, known as Fontaine Tower, stands tallest amongst a choir of soulless high-rises which make up the industrial district, fortifying the geometric spire in which my fate resides, castle-like in its grim presence. A wretched, varnished, neoclassical, vertical cathedral built in the 1900s by a firearm and typewriter magnate, plunging into the skyline with all the dark power of a legacy unleashed. I crane my head upward to look at its pointed top, piercing the heavens with its pyramid-tipped form, shaped to siphon the very energy of heaven and convert it into something far worse. This is a tall building. The windows of this monstrous 38-story tower stare outward like sentinel eyes, keeping watch in every direction. In this moment, a chill runs through me, as though in my reckoning, the mighty structure has revealed its true form to me and me alone. I take one last look at the obliviousness of the surrounding streets, take a breath, and cross the threshold inside. My footsteps echo through the lobby of this cavernous 70s noir setting. There's a throwback polish here, like Jimmy Carter might still be president, or Watergate's going on. A despondent security guard at a massive marble desk with inset computer monitor verifies my details and sends me to the elevator bank. I appear to be the only one here. Interesting. At the elevator, I don't see any buttons, just the ornate metal work of the elevator doors. Firm lines that look like a design the more I stare. Engravings of what appear to be flames, coursing up and down the doors, and in them a wailing woman. If I didn't know better, I'd say she was a muse. Like the sideways jaws of a slumbering dragon, the doors remain sealed. I wonder for a moment if there isn't a riddle embedded in this barrier, like I'm a hobbit. When in this same thought, the sound of metal squealing and gears clanking began, and the doors groan open. I look back at the security guard, assuming he did this, but he averts his bagged eyes, ignoring me. I head into my carriage upward. The doors shut tight behind me, and I see the inside also has no buttons, no controls to speak of, but what it lacks in user functionality it more than makes up for with elegant design. For one, there's a chandelier in the ceiling, which shudders slightly as I feel the box I'm in move upward. The walls, too, in this little room feel more extravagant than necessary, like a powder room on the Titanic or the Overlook Hotel. The carpet is weathered but elegant. Deep green marble accents the corners where the walls meet, making me think, okay, so what's next? The wonderful wizard and a couple of munchkins? Jeez, how high am I going? Unaware of where I'm headed, I decide to quietly collect myself, while the subtle notes of a music box tinkle overhead. It's okay, this is good, this is normal, you're fine. Then, lest I gain too much of a bearing, the carriage stops with a jolt. I steady myself as the doors rumble open. This must be the place. I guess this is where I'm supposed to get out. You got this. Here goes nothing. Let's see, this way, trying to remember, do they even send directions? Oh, this looks like something. I get a little turned around, but eventually discover a waiting area with a massive marble sculpture of what looks like the wailing woman from the elevator door engravings. Apart from this domineering piece of artwork, I clock a stiff-mouthed receptionist who doesn't seem to know I'm there. So in an effort to get her attention, I dramatically clear my throat, but send air up the wrong pipe and devolve into a coughing fit. The receptionist just looks at me with all the concern of a stoic bad seed watching a fish die. Morbid curiosity mixed with a heaping dose of indifference. And that's right when someone arrives.
Cat got your tongue? Or did you swallow a canary?
It's Melody, who materializes behind me as if out of thin air, like we're aboard the USS Enterprise from Star Trek. And there's a transporter in here powered exclusively by bad first impressions, or whatever impression this counts as. My so-called host doesn't look up from her phone. I have the urge to better represent myself in a more polished fashion as Melody picks lint off her blouse. And yet, when she does actually look at me, her expression takes on an unnerving, spellbound quality.
So, you actually made it here. You are brave. Or foolish.
The moment doesn't last long, but it's definitely there. I don't know what to make of her enchanted tone, or the searching look in her eyes, or being called foolish in such a wondrous way, while she caresses my cheek with the back of her hand. But as soon as the sensibilities come, it's gone as she snaps back into business mode.
Almost lost another one, eh, Jacqueline?
Whatever that means. To all this, the receptionist snickers knowingly. I feel like they're communicating over my head. I'm getting boxed out at my own book deal meeting. Maybe it's too early to tell, but in my experience, if you don't make an effort to set the tone, everything else goes cockeyed. That's the last thing I want. I work too darn hard to be here. I'm not gonna sit here and let things happen to me. I'm gonna be the thermostat and not the thermometer.
Jacqueline, could you please inform Avery that she's out of time and her services are no longer needed? I know it's a shame she couldn't work out.
I guess I did get a little choked up back there. I thought I saw a pooty cat. You know, because you were saying that I ate a bird. Or I try resetting the mood by riffing on the canary thing, but am instead met with stony silence. That's my cue to lean in. Hey, but in all honesty, wow, what an interesting and inspiring place you have here. You know, publishing houses have always felt holy to me. I mean, it's as though how do I put...
That's great you think that.
The receptionist stares daggers as Melody indicates it's time to move on.
Come.
She springs into motion, eager to leave the scene of the crime.
Walk with me, book boy.
Book boy? Okay, we're moving. Her face becomes Teflon as she zips up the hall, sharing an imperceptible glance with the receptionist like, can you believe this is happening? The receptionist tracks our departure with, dare I say, bloodlust in her eyes, like they're in on something. Maybe the derogatory nickname, Book Boy. For a so-called patron of the arts, Melody sure knows how to put me on my back foot. And I'm embarrassed to say her nag is working. Because before I know it, I'm following after her as she walks in brisk stride ahead of me to our assumed meeting place. Like a baby duck, I try to keep up while she simultaneously texts and speaks in rapid-fire Italian to someone named Giacomo. That's another thing. Why am I already fighting for attention at my own book deal? Where's the pleasantries? The etiquette? The friendly chatter before we talk turkey? I mean, I wasn't exactly expecting a spirit tunnel from the Jennifer Hudson show, but...
That's Mufasa! Erik! That's Mufasa!
Melody's giving me nothing. Clacking away on her phone screen while gliding forward like an object in a pneumatic tube down what seems like about 20 halls that spindle outward from the reception desk. So of course I just start filling the silence with awkward AF commentary. Let's see, what is that? Is that... Oh, neat. Another door. Hey, Melody, just riffing off the nickname thing back there. Book Boy. What if I called you Mel? Like the Spice Girl. Like, Sporty Spice. Did you hear me?
It's Melody.
Right. I was just having a laugh. This definitely counts as Seattle freeze. Big time. And And P.S., that thing I said earlier about publishing houses being holy? Not true. Definitely not for this place. This place is weird. I'm telling you, the vibes are off. And it's not just one thing that makes it feel weird. It's many things. Like, the carpet is a retro burnt orange, freshly vacuumed. It stands out against the occasional tropical potted plants that dot the wood-paneled halls every 15 feet, and like an optical illusion seem to go on forever. Honestly, have you ever been in a really long hallway? It's like horizontal vertigo. I'm in a labyrinth that doesn't make sense with the geometry of the building I saw from outside. The light here is museum light. It's the same light as a playhouse lobby. And the space feels like, well, to continue the playhouse metaphor, when you leave a play while it's still happening to go use the restroom and you find yourself all alone in the lobby, all alone in a liminal space, apart from it all, heavy and weightless. And it's quiet everywhere we turn. No, not quiet, devoid of sound, like we're in a cosmic vacuum, or a decades-old recording studio where Jeff Lynne from ELO may have mastered some tracks. I not only hear but feel our footsteps as they compress the carpet and the very molecules that surround us. The aesthetics and the retro-futuristic undercurrent reminds me of 70s era corporate America, when plastics were king. The hangover afterglow of the 60s seeping forth, the cutthroat 80s and all its busied abominations darkening the horizon. There's a sensation here that makes time feel out of order. Events stacked on top of one another. Perhaps it's the repetition in layout, the feeling of being in an Escher drawing, like we've been walking for hours. TBH, I feel a little bit like Dorothy Gale in the poppy field, or a fly caught in a cosmic spider web. It feels like I've been walking for hours. I retrieve myself from the mid-modern strangeness with hopes of catching a glimpse of other authors milling about, but there's no one. Not a soul to be found. In fact, aside from Melody and the stone-faced receptionist, I'll be well damned if I've seen another living being at all. I bring it up to Melody, who now seems oddly attentive. Like an anesthesiologist taking me under, her presence a hypnotic facet of this ethereal static. Melody, if you don't mind me asking, where the hell is everybody?
We prefer to maintain a light staff. Not everyone who walks through these doors survives here.
That's a strange thing to say.
Be the strange you wish to see in the world. Isn't that the saying?
The heck is she saying it like that for? Like a Dracula. I mean, I don't think she's a Dracula, but that's how she said it. All cordial and mysterious. Like a Dracula. I could swear her eyes flash red like a predator at nighttime, so I'm relieved at this point to see a new face approach Melody. An assistant of some kind. With a message. He's a scruffy chap around the age of Andy. Sweater vest, crooked glasses. Kind of looks like the dad from 101 Dalmatians, but younger and not cartoon. The underling whispers something into Melody's ear, and his expression is not a friendly one. He steals a few suspicious glances at me, like I'm an interloper visiting a compound. Is it a cold look? You betcha. Whatever news he tells her upsets her, and we pause at an open area connecting more halls. The spellbound quality vanishes as Melody's face goes more serious, which I didn't think was possible.
Will you excuse me? I have to tend to some business.
Are you serious? I mean, before I can finish answering, she and the non-cartoon assistant have disappeared. You'd think someone's life was on the line the way they hurry off. Left alone to my own devices, I do what any seasoned mindhunter would do in this situation. I put down Courteous and pick up Gumshoe. Alone in the landing, there's a decorative dresser, kind of like the type you might see in Graceland or a hotel floor in Vegas. I doubt it's a functional dresser, just for show. The only thing on it is a bowl of freshly sharpened lead pencils. Odd. You don't see these much these days. Gone the way of cursive. These pencils are painted lacquer black. The erasers untouched, pink, and pure as bunny noses. The lead tips sharpened to a fine point. I pick one up. Roll it in my fingers, this wooden tool of the trade. I ponder pensively about what it means to give birth to a myth. To really create something. Who among us can say we have? Can I? And then it happens. I'm overcome right at this moment with the strongest sense of imposter syndrome. That I don't belong here, that I should leave now while I still can. That I fooled my way into another's fate. That I'm a liar, a thief, a charlatan. Metaphorically speaking, not legally. I try to move on, but the pencil anchors me to this spot, keeps me from running. I shift my attention to this writing tool, and I notice words written along its slim length. Light catches the lettering, and the gold emblazoned words shine in the space where a company name or brand might be. The words are clear, as if speaking to me. Leave now. The phrase hits me like a jump scare. I drop the pencil back in the bowl and look around. Sure, someone set this up. A hazing ritual for new authors? I stare closer at the bowl and see now that all the pencils have messages written on them. Like candy hearts, but pencils and ominous. With much trepidation, I grab another, horrified at what it might say. The pencil reads, "You are not safe here." I pick up another. "Go, Ghost Rider, escape." And another. "While you still can." I don't like this. I'm about to pick up another out of morbid curiosity, but stop when something just above the bowl catches my eye. It's a small face. A group of small faces, actually, making up a hanging wall portrait. A crowd of important people posing for a picture. A gaudy, brilliant frame encloses the gathering. In it, there are about 15 people, standing side by side, aged about 40 to 60. People of clear influence. The Monomyth team, I presume. Exuding confidence with smiles that are more shows of force than anything earnest. Strangely, they're not dressed in business or even author attire, but rather holy garments. I guess. White lace robes.
Colorful shrouds and cloaks.
Ceremonial vestments for a religion I can't place. Some wear box-shaped hats you'd see in the higher ranks of a ritualistic sect of true believers. Why are they dressed this way? Like a cult. Location-wise, the space around them seems like a tabernacle, or something scholarly, like a secret university room or something. There are standing candlesticks and flowers all over, and the walls look like the interior of a medieval library, adorned with tapestries like you might see in the cloisters. The time is hard to place as the photo composition is lit amber-hued, like an aged Polaroid from a few decades back. It's got a tacky, unearthly feeling. The filter to the light is Winnebago-esque, if that makes sense. Something you'd find in a photo album in a garage after a loved one dies. The longer and closer I stare, the more the faces come alive, and I recognize the people staring back. I recognize Tawny Gatherbrook in there, prominently placed, looking like a chancellor at graduation. The way they dress up the faculty to, look like they're all Magellan or Christopher Columbus or something. She clutches a gourd and an ink pen with an ornately carved handle.
It looks more like a weapon than something you write with.
Speaking of familiar faces, Chuck Chance is there too. All the children of the thrill are. I take out my phone and snap a photo for research. I'll have Andy investigate them later. A brass plate at the bottom of the frame lists the group's names, of which I count 14, only to look at the photo there are clearly 15 people in this group, including the woman at the center of this photo, whose face I also know immediately. Her look transcends this still life portrait. She gazes out at the viewer in a plaintive, dazed manner. With my finger I trace the names on the placard beneath and find her name.
Alice Hollandstadter.
No, that's not the name of this lady. She's not named Alice. The woman pictured here is Fiona Caruso. On her shoulders rest two elongated hands. Fingertips like larvae, their mere, seated presence holding her in place. The skin so pale as if to be translucent. I follow the arms of these hands like two glue-white fleshy rivers, disappearing into cavernous velvet wizard sleeves. These bone-guided tributaries collecting at a pair of hunched shoulders that coalesce at the neck with a face hidden by a mask. A mask made of twigs. The Twig Man. He is the unnamed 15th. The effect of this mask is Centurion. Wooden armor of vertical sticks with holes for the eyes. And the top, lengths of branches stretch on like antlers. Who is behind the mask, I wonder? When out of nowhere the lights cut out, and a disturbance brings the hall into sudden darkness. It takes a moment, but my eyes refocus on the spot on the portrait I was staring at, where the mask was, when all of a sudden a small light hits just that same spot, flickering like a queasy flashlight with no source. A green witch light the size of a thumb manifests with details I can't yet make out, right over the twig mask. I lean closer and it appears to be a little green face with human features dancing upon the mask, like a ghastly reflection bouncing off a pool of water from another dimension, a holographic daguerreotype, doll-sized and sickly, the visage of a little man in a pool of inky black, a bizarre phantasmagoria of a man and his countenance over the twig mask. I focus on the green features of the little face. It's regal, violent, otherworldly, arcane. A primordial crevice. A face like Rasputin, a pope of shadows. The kind of face you can look at and still not comprehend no more than you can comprehend the smeared brains of a car accident. A death mask alive. A face like corruption. An ancient face. The face of a publisher. As if powered by the dark energy of my recognition, the lights in the hall suddenly turned back on. And I'm not alone. It's Melody, standing right behind me, gazing at the portrait with an intense gleam in her eye. Her point of focus, that mysterious woman in the center.
Amazing, isn't she?
Who?
Alice Holland's daughter. That's the lady you're looking at.
She nods to the Fiona one.
Started her own publishing shingle out of her dorm at Evergreen University. Frothy chick lit was her forte. The frothier, the better. Contemporary female fiction. They called what she did fluff. But Alice was a real artist. Let's just say, she made the Yaya Sisterhood and Chicken Sisters look like someone vomited alphabet soup into a blender then ran it with no lid. But she showed them. She showed all of them when she accepted our offer at Monomyth. And then all her peers suffered mysterious and deadly fates.
And in the picture, why are they all dressed like that?
Company retreat. A nod to the old ways. We take story very seriously here. It's traditions.
It should come as no surprise she says this last part like a Dracula, right as the lights also somehow flicker on and off.
Quite frankly, I really don't appreciate all this devilry or whatever the heck's going on.
I'm starting to get fed up with all this hokum. I need answers. Okay, ha, very funny, you scared me. You can drop the haunted house shtick. What's going on with these pencils? With the messages on them?
What messages?
I pick a pencil up to show her, only the personalized warnings that were there just a second ago are gone. Huh? Now they all say the same thing.
Monomyth Publishing.
Melody seems pleased by this. Chuffed, even. No, just a second. What about this guy? This guy with the mask. I point back at the portrait of the nameless man with the creviced face, only he's not there at all. Maybe he was never there. I don't understand. Something's not right. Because in the portrait, Fiona's face is gone too. Now that face in the crowd, is just Alice.
If you're done joking around, Mr. Cervantes, we have very important matters to discuss.
With eerie calm, Melody gestures to a door at the first end of a hall we've come to. A door that seems to be glowing from the other side, with a piercing electric blue light framing the passageway. My host, half lit, like she's part of another world, sweeps her hand in invitation, beckoning.
Come. It is time for notes. Time for notes.
It is time for no. It is time for no.
What do I think happens when we die?
Know what lies beyond the source.
do I think happens when we die?
What do I think happens when we die?
Come. It is time for notes.
What world exists between the mind and the page? It is a real place. I've seen it. If you're not careful, you'll see it too.
Come. It is time for notes. Let's jump right in. The team has some headline stuff, and then some smaller items. Are you paying attention, Mr. Cervantes? This is important.
Where am I? The meeting's begun. I don't even remember passing through the door at the end of the hall. Now I find myself seated in a boardroom. There's a mug of coffee in front of me that's half empty. I must have drank some of it. I can taste a little of it in my mouth. The vibe is woozy, yet tense, like a courtroom on a spaceship. Melody hasn't blinked once.
Do relax. You're not on trial.
Wait, I just said this place was like a courtroom. Could she hear my thoughts? No, impossible. Even so, I push the mug away. She registers this with a slight smile before starting in.
Now, as I was saying, we have some changes. Of course, I'm sure anyone who's worked under a master, like Luke Pattersby, can take what you've written to some great places.
She looks me dead in the eye as she speaks his name. If I was half asleep before, a casual mention of my nemesis rouses me from my stupor.
I hope you're okay with all this.
This is no accident. This is calculated. It's meant to evoke a response. Like Melody's a clinician, subjecting me to an experiment.
Do you trust me? There must be trust.
Yes.
Let's begin.
Like a veil's been lifted, more details of the room come into focus. A long, spotless table takes up most of the space, kind of like a sparsely populated war room, orderly and lit by the specter of death. Otherwise, I guess I'm a little surprised at how standard and corporate it all feels. I'm not sure what I expected. Mortar and pestle or some bloodletting tools. What does stand out is a huge monitor, blank, with an embedded lens at the bottom about the size of a silver dollar. An electric eye used for teleconferencing, I guess. The screen is off, but a light under the camera is on. The light is red, a sensor, indicating something. That we're being recorded? Observed?
Let's begin.
Melody jots something down on a clipboard that's already there waiting for her. Also, I'm not entirely sure, but I think I hear a mechanical noise coming from the camera, like a shutter capturing my response to things like her saying his name.
Anyone who's worked under a master, like Luke Pattersby.
And yes, of course, hearing his name in a positive context rattles me. Like when someone mentions your ex at a party where you just wanted to have a good time, and your entire night is ruined, so you just go home and play board games by yourself, and then wake up with a pounding headache and dice stuck to your eyelids. I try to put this all out of my head, play it cool, and recall the wise words of encouragement JJ recently yelled at me.
Look, Inspector Gadget, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get your name back in the trades. The ball's in your court. Make this work.
He's not wrong. Many would kill to be in my spot, and yet I fought long and hard to be here. I can't just take it lying down, let alone inflate the myth of a tyrant with my own lungs. I got a rep. Hell, I'm not a mouse yet. I'm a human boy, man. A boy man. I can play this game and I can win. Ryan style. It's my name who should be on everybody's lips. Translation: it's time I let this dog off the chain. Look, Mel, you and I both know that this is your barbecue. And don't get me wrong, it smells delicious. But let's not forget, I'm the one with the sauce here. And not to toot my own horn, but as far as Pattersby goes, some might say the smartest thing he ever did was work with me. Melody narrows her eyes at this, looking a little perturbed. So I stopped laying it on so thick. But hey, regardless of what you think of the guy, he at least knew the value of a good story.
Did he ever? So strange for him to withdraw from society like that. I hear he's working on his greatest thriller yet.
Oh yeah? I heard he wandered off drunk in the Yukon and got gored by a moose.
Is that so? I'm afraid I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah, you gotta wonder. Well, why are we even talking about him? I'm the one who's here. And I'm sorry, is this being recorded?
I have to ask, what was your favorite thing about working under such a profound genius like Luke Pattersby?
She says this last part about my nemesis, less like a question and more like a command. Scrawling something down, then staring at me like I better answer right. Or else. So that's her game, huh? Get me in here to bend the knee, kiss the ring, tie my success to Luke Pattersby. Praise him. They say every man has a price. And deep down, Melody knows mine. I could dance around it all day long, but the truth is, I want this book deal bad. I want the money. I want the fame, the notoriety, the respect. Hell, I want my dog back. So, fine. Let's do it her way. Let's gas up the big bad wolf and get that bag. Ooh, let's see, my favorite thing about Luke Pattersby? I mean, boy, how can you choose? A lot of good things in that man, my mentor.
How can you pick one, right?
I struggle to pick at least one, but I sense the time it takes for me to answer is being assessed, so I sputter the first thing that comes to mind. He was a fast eater, hated wasting time, popped deviled eggs like they were Tic Tacs.
Interesting.
Really? I mean, yeah, I find it's oftentimes the small details that end up defining us.
Not the most flattering thing to say about the man you owe your entire career to.
I generously don't mention his post-egg smells, which were noxious and could peel the paint off the wall. Besides, what the hell's up with his camera? And what's Melody writing down about me? Maybe this is a Squid Game, or worse. The red light glows like a heat lamp. My interrogator sets down her pen.
Let's cut to the chase, book boy.
Again with the nicknames.
A big reason we brought you in is we're hoping to capture that special Pattersby energy, that je ne sais quoi, if you will. I'll cut even more to the chase. We don't want your writing.
I don't follow.
We want Luke Pattersby's writing.
Okay.
Do you understand?
No.
We want you to imitate his writing. You've worked with a man, lived inside his head, experienced his worlds.
But you said you liked what I did.
We did and we didn't.
How can it be two things, but one thing?
Put it this way. Have you ever heard of Robert Ludlum, the Bourne Identity guy? He died after like 3 Jason Bourne books, and they used his name to write 17 more. Same with Clive Cussler, and House Clancy, Tom. So Luke Pattersby would be the brand.
The brand?
Did JJ not explain all this? That's why we took such an interest in your erotic thriller. What's it called again?
Overclock.
It's a techno thriller with erotic elements.
Whatever. It's a finished story with a beginning, middle, and end that we can easily repurpose. A pump and dump. Everyone's happy.
A pump and dump? I don't know what to say.
Don't take this the wrong way, book boy. But what we found most intriguing in your work was the complete lack of an original voice.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
You wrote like a true fan of Pattersby, with the earnestness of a child playing make-believe or a maladjusted Dutch person. We love that, and want you to draw that out even more.
I say nothing.
Humiliated by what can only be described as the worst words ever spoken to me.
I think about destroying the camera lens, ripping it out of the wall.
You've stumbled upon a great sandbox here. A playground, if you will. A playground we want to buy and decide who plays in it and not put your name on the cover.
But I've seen other people's names on the Robert Ludlum books.
Well, that's not this deal. You're still not exactly Mr. Popular in these circles. You know this, right? Look, you seem shocked by all this. Your agent did show you the dollar amount we're offering for this. Just to show we're serious? Let's double it.
Holy shamoly.
That got your attention. Now let's talk main characters. The one in it right now is a bit of a dud. Sexy, but nowhere near as violent as we know sells. So all that's missing in Overclock is Pattersby's most famous hero. I'm talking the quintessential Pattersby maverick.
Do not say his name. Do not say his name.
A certain everyman brute we happen to own the rights to. Theo Sultan.
She said his name.
Theo Sultan.
Theo Sultan. Theo Sultan. Theo Sultan.
Monomyth has the rights to Theo Sultan, Luke Pattersby's amazing, legendary renegade. And in order to keep the rights, we have to keep pumping these bastards out. Theo Sultan is definitely a priority for us. And you've seen Pattersby do his thing firsthand with the character. Side note, can you imagine being the person who invented Theo Sultan? Wow.
I've never been so disrespected in all my life. I'm vibrating from head to toe. I have to set things straight.
In the immortal words of Popeye the Sailor Man,
That's all I can stand. I can't stand his number.
No. Time out. False.
Pardon?
Pattersby didn't invent Theo Sultan. I did. I created him. Me, Ryan Sandoval.
I'm sure as a lowly ghostwriter, you feel a certain ownership over the character of Theo Sultan. It's understandable. And I must remind you, you would be paid handsomely to continue this work behind the scenes, in the shadows, as a ghostwriter.
The character is mine.
Please sit down.
I came up with Theo Sultan, and he took him from me.
You're making a big mistake.
Oh, mistakes are my middle name.
I don't know who you got working for you. If it's Reggie from accounting, who never liked that I cooked so much salmon in the break room microwave, all I know is you or someone kept making stories off my character after Pattersby went missing. After someone stole my private notebook with dolphins on the cover.
Well, I never. These are serious allegations, Mr. Cervantes. The most serious any honorable practitioner of the craft could make. The kind of allegations people lose careers over. Again. I think we might have to hit pause on all of this.
No, wait, I'm sorry. Please, Melody.
She slides a control panel out from the edge of the table with a built-in microphone and talks into it.
Jacqueline, have security escort Mr. Cervantes out with extreme prejudice.
Jacqueline, no, that's not necessary. Look, lady, you want a Theo Sultan? I can give you a Theo Sultan. I'll give you a Theo Sultan like you wouldn't believe.
I'll say this in the nicest way I know how. Your book reads like the erotic ravings of a circus clown who got kicked in the head by a horse, which is nothing new. We can make it great. But you slandering Luke Pattersby for your own gain? In Seattle, of all places? That's something Monomyth will not tolerate.
What the? Who are these goons? Leave me be!
We were willing to give you the world. And all you have to do is play ball.
You know who took my notebook, don't you? Don't you? You know about Fiona Caruso!
It's mid-afternoon. I am walking, talking on the phone in nature. My speakerphone conversation upset several hikers. My manager, Jourgensen Avalon, has informed me of the worst.
What the hell did you say in there? This was our one shot. I'm trying to do you a favor and you go in there and run your mouth about this Theo Sultan bullcrap. And on top of that, now I'm getting calls from some fan club lady's adult son saying he's gonna come wreck me?
No. He's her stepson.
What? I don't care. I don't care if he's her co-worker's second cousin twice removed. You're on your own now, buddy, for good.
You know what, fine. Just tell me one thing. Tell me you won't miss this. Tell me you won't miss us. Oh, he hung up.
I am being removed from my own book project. All because thinking the wrong things about a powerful man. Ain't that always the way? What came over me? Why did I have to set the record straight so bad? Why couldn't I just ignore everything I saw and felt and stay lulled in my money-hungry stupor? I sipped coffee out of my Stanley travel tumbler I sent Andy to get me from the Sub Pop store at the airport the second I got my bad news. It says float on in reference to the Modest Mouse hit, but I am not floating on. The famously sumptuous Seattle coffee tastes bitter like snake poison. I loathe it. I loathe everything right now. I loathe the sun-dappled path. I loathe the babbling brook. I loathe the stupid big green and brown trees. Everything seems pointless. Again. When I started on this path of finding Pattersby, I had but one goal: confront a bully, restore order to the universe, find out who took my private notebook with dolphins on the cover, and get credit for inventing the greatest thriller character of all time, Theo Sultan. In my foolish naivete, I thought me getting my own book deal early in the journey was a reward for my sacrifices. I thought turning over a new leaf by being rich and famous would soothe my troubled heart. But now I see what's been true all along. There are no shortcuts on the path to justice. In my jealousy, I was tempted by forbidden fruits. Like some biblical characters being tricked by that puppeteer most cruel in the sky. Many of you enabled me. Did I make mistakes? Yes. Numerous. Too many to go into detail about here. But now I know one thing. So long as Luke Pattersby walks this earth, I will never know peace. I will always live in his shadow. Like it or not, our fates are forever intertwined. Even more so now. From this point forward, I will not rest until I find him. In a way, this is the perfect closure to this section of the story. Like The Hobbit to Fellowship of the Ring, or John Wick 3, Parabellum, to John Wick 4. A beginning and an end. A begending. No more fake book deals. No more half measures. No more effing and jeffing. I am of one mind now when it comes to finding him. When it comes to finding Pattersby.
Hello?
Oh, jeez. What now?
Hello? You didn't unalive yourself in there, did you? It's been like an hour.
No, Andy. I was just wrapping things up in a very poignant, special way. But how can I help you? His face registers zero apology. Typical for his generation. I guess I get it. We did F over that age group pretty bad. But there's something more in his face. And in his hands. He clutches a tattered and battered box. Tells me it's a delivery that just came for me. A package that looks like it's been through hell and back. Somehow, I can relate. This traveled box is the size of a shoebox. And this might sound weird, but the second I hold it, it feels like there's an energy inside. Like one of those gyroscope toys when the gyroscope is spinning. And like any mindhunter who's paid his dues in the school of clues, I get suspicious. Andy,
Who gave this to you?
Just some guy.
What do you mean, just some guy?
Like a delivery person.
Gee, how astute. I see my lessons on the powers of observation have failed the boy. Much like is always the case, it's up to me to notice things. First thing I notice is there's a ton of stamps on this thing, like it's been all over the world. I think one of the stamps is in Romanian. Another stamp commemorates the Calico ghost town out in the high desert of California. But looking at the return address, I'm I experience a nameless fear as the place it came from simply reads, The Abyss, in chaotic, handwritten Sharpie. I look beyond Andy and think about chasing down whoever gave this to him, but instead, instinct meets desperation, and I rip this little sucker open like it's Christmas morning, and I can't believe what I find.
What is it, like a dead cat? I'm getting the vibe that you're a person who gets dead cats sent to them.
Baby, this ain't no dead cat. More like a smoking gun. Before I describe what was in the box, I do want to point out that I probably should have made sure it wasn't a letter bomb or something, so my bad on that, but my unquenchable thirst for knowledge prevails. Reader, I open the box and find inside a folded cloth, golden silk, wrapped around some kind of book. I lift the fabric off what it's covering, and am shocked at what I see. No. Andy. It's my private notebook. With dolphins on the cover. That's what it is. The main big clue. I can hardly believe my eyes. I discard the box and hold the notebook in my hand. Everything I've been trying to prove is in here. I consider this could be a hoax, a fake, And if that's the case, then they did their homework. Wow. Not a dolphin is out of place. The pastel seaside sunset exactly as I remember it. To grasp this slim tome, there's a throbbing density, a pulse, a living weight that betrays its page count. It shouldn't be this heavy. And yet, it is. I can't wait to look inside and confirm I finally have my evidence. When all of a sudden that same pulsing from minutes earlier returns, as though the notebook has a life. I know it's just a notebook, a standard folio, but it feels like a grimoire with dormant sentience. I reach toward it and slowly move to turn open the cover. Yet, just as I pinch the corner and prepare to peel back the dolphin scape,
The room begins to shake. And then the notebook
bucks out of my grasp like a strong fish, fluttering at eye level into the air, until it lands with a deep slap on the corner of my desk. The part with the pages faces me like teeth. Baleen. Like a flat, bookish creature with a mouth that hinges on the coiled binding like a clam. I stand in complete awe at the occurrence, my gaze locked on the mischievous notebook and what it might do next. The more I stare at it, the more this closed, stationary clam seems to emit an iridescent aura. This rectangular object haloed in its own invisible light prism that sparkles majestic until fading into disappearance. I look to Andy to see what he makes of all this, and well, it's clear he doesn't see any of what I'm seeing. It's as though we're in two separate realities.
Earth to Weirdo, hello?
I feel like he's moving slower too.
What are you staring
The notebook flutters again, rippling in sentience, like a window's open, letting in a hurricane from another dimension. And before I can say anything more to Andy, the fluttering stops. The notebook holds still, and then the cover lifts up, opens, like a mouth. And then it happens. My private notebook with dolphins on the cover speaks.
Ghost Rider, heed my words. You have proven yourself to be a most formidable hero. You've ventured beyond thresholds, faced many trials, experienced great loss, and gazed deep within. You've sacrificed all you hold dear. And yet, your journey is just beginning. Hear me now, Ghost Rider. The path that lies ahead is a difficult one. Before you enter these dark woods, the question you have to ask yourself is it all worth it?
Finding Pattersby is written, directed, produced, edited, and performed by me, Ryan Sandoval, with Amazing music and sound design by the one and only Erik Jourgensen. The show would not be what it is without him. This episode featured appearances by Andy Windak, Dan Gagliardi, and Lily Sparks. Additional sound design in this episode was done by yours truly. Thanks for hearing the season. This is a true labor of love made with human brains and human hands. We don't make one red cent off this show, so if you like what you hear, let us know. Leave a review, please. Or head on over to patterspod.com and sign up for our newsletter. Or check out our merch shop. Toss a coin to your Witcher. When you do swing by, there's a full Theo Sultan book there, and it's free as an ebook if you sign up for our newsletter. Check it out. Or just crack open any book, really. A good one. Go to your library. They got all kinds of these things. Before we part ways here, I just wanted to say thank you again for lending your imaginations to host our universe. It's a two-way street. Also, thanks to everybody who performed in this show and supporters who helped get it off the ground. Erik for his sweet music you're hearing right now. And all the fellow creators out there who offered tips, hints, and support along the way.
Keep making stuff, y'all, and be good to one another.
So, until next time, see you in the thriller pages. I love saying that.